Right, we're back with Pentiment. We need to do an autopsy, I believe. That storm is still coming in. It sounds really good. Like, the storm sounds really good. Right. Well, I have several leads to follow, but where should I start? I could talk to Lucky... is it Steinauer? He's probably working in front of his house. The widow Kemperin lives south of here, near Franz Bauer. She's in the forest, right? Friar Fennec. Frank. Douchebag. Palpatine. He's usually at the scriptorium. I won't be able to talk to him until tomorrow. Still, nothing would prevent me from talking to Mother Cecilia in the convent. Those storm effects are great. But if I don't attend Brother Florian's examination of the body at the Abbey, which is what I want to do, they'll have to do it without me. I don't know if we're time-gated on any of the other stuff. That doesn't tell me the time. That tells me the time. So it's... nuns. 2 days remain until what? I think he said we had to sneak in. I want to see if I can do the autopsy first. I think the autopsy is the main thing. Till. Hello, Master Mailer. I can't remember anyone's voices, so I'm going to apologise now if you have a certain favourite and they sound very different in this one. It's been about a week since I've played, so I cannot remember. Throw stone. Great idea. Ah, Frank. Not Frank. Florian. Andreas, this way. Nobody saw anything. There you are. I'm glad the storm didn't delay you. Now, even though I gave instructions that I was not to be disturbed, we must work quickly. Seeing a corpse up close can be unsettling for some. I hope you're up to it. It's alright. I've thrown up enough to not mind it too much. Well, I'm not sure, but I will help Piero. No, we'll go the hedonist way. Well, that's one way to deal with it, I suppose. Just try not to splash me or the body in the process. Now then, you should probably take notes as we go. They might be useful later. Ah, of course. He's dead, Jim. I will begin by inspecting his interior, starting with the face and head. No visible wounds, no blemishes, teeth in good condition, nothing unusual. What is he doing to that body? Looks like he's pummeling the chest. Neck, shoulders and chest are ordinary. I need to clean some blood away to examine the torso. Yes, there it is, the puncture wound between the 6th and 7th ribs. Fairly shallow, though. I estimate it penetrated only about an inch. It is likely came from his own hand. What? Wait, he inflicted on himself. How can you tell? Yes. That doesn't sound deep enough to have killed him. Well, it doesn't. A Nuremberg inch or an Innsbruck inch? He inflicted on himself. From the angle and depth of the strike, it is as though he were holding it in his right hand as he fell on his side. Like a knife? You must know that I was not always a monk. I was a mercenary for 10 long years in Poland. My familiarity with wounds comes from my time on the battlefield. I am no true surgeon, but I am the closest Curacao has. If the wound was that shallow, it doesn't sound like it would have been fatal. It wasn't. It likely incidental. Received while falling on his own knife. He must have some other wound that issued forth all the blood we found him in. Surely this must mean Brother Piero is innocent. What, from him inflicting something on himself? No. Who do you think killed him? I don't know. I can't even speculate. All I can do is examine the body and hope that you can figure out the rest. Simply pointing out the implausibility of Brother Piero striking the fatal blow may not be enough to convince the Archdeacon. Brother Piero never should have picked up that knife. I'm sure the appearance of guilt never even crossed his mind. Now then, let's move on. Well, there is a sore on his sex. Probably from the French disease. I doubt it had anything to do with his murder. The disease French soldiers receive in brothels of Nepals. Yes. How do you know of it? Oh, I see. Have you taken mercury for it? I haven't suffered from it, thankfully. One must be somewhat cautious. A little, I'm fine now. Yeah. Ah, good. Anyway, it seems the Baron was not the most faithful husband, not uncommon among the nobility. I expect a monk to be more shocked. But yeah, but we know he's seen Baal, so I don't feel the need to point anything out like that. Moving down. Other than a few blisters on his feet from what I assume were new shoes, there's nothing wrong with his legs. Andreas, can you help me turn him over? Oh, of course. There's a slight irregularity in his spine, possibly from an old injury. I don't think it has anything to do with how he died, though. I've spent enough time with nobles to guess that he probably fell off his horse while hunting. Yeah, we'll go with that. It seems like a silly thing to risk your life for, but I'm not one to talk. Whatever the reason, it didn't contribute to his death. Here it is. A rather dramatic head wound. Big old gash. The dark hair and the blood made it difficult to see, but it's quite bad. My experience, I've never seen someone walk away from a head wound of this severity. How many head wounds have you seen? Too many and not enough. As grim as it sounds, there is always more to learn. Italian doctors try to examine as many corpses as they can to fully understand the mysteries of the body. Battlefields of Poland and Lithuania aren't as ideal a learning environment as the University of Bologna, but they could provide an education of sorts. I'd rather be treated by someone with experience than a novice with a university education. Why didn't you study medicine at the university? Yeah, I'll go with that one. My family was too poor to even consider it. Mercenary work was my way off the farm. The wound looks like it was caused by a single powerful blow from a blunt object, probably no more than 4 or 5 inches across. How can you tell? The skull is cracked at a single point, and there is a clear impression in the skin around it. It would take extraordinary precision to hit the same spot twice unless the Baron were already dead. It's likely he didn't die immediately. How long could he have survived for? I've seen similar injuries in battle. The victims don't last more than a few minutes, but it's an agonizing death. Even so, he couldn't have wandered far from where the blow first struck him. So he may not have been attacked in the chapter house. He was either attacked in the chapter house or someplace in the immediate area. Could he have been attacked outside the abbey? The cloister? How about the big garden? Is the church a possibility? The cloister would be where all the monks are, right? Yes, it is possible the cloister connects directly to the chapter house, but there's a high risk of being seen. Anyway, whatever killed the Baron was a blunt instrument of considerable heft. The part that impacted him was likely a little smaller than a fist. Could it have actually been a fist? Haha, no. I don't think the strongest soldier could do this much of a punch unless the Baron's head was pressed to the ground. Even though we would also see damage to his... Even then, we would also see damage to his nose or forehead. Could a woman or an elderly person have done it? Anyone could have, given the right weapon and sufficient height. Whomever did this must have caught the Baron unaware. Save the small knife wound, he has no other injuries. I suppose when he was struck, he drew his knife to defend himself and fell on it before Brother Piero discovered him. So, I believe we've discovered two important things. Piero didn't stab the Baron, and even if he had, that wasn't what killed him. The Baron was killed... I guess they're the two things we found. The Baron was killed by a blow to the head from a heavy blunt object. Yes, exactly. If you can find what caused the blow, it may lead you to the killer. We also know Piero didn't stab the Baron. We know that, and I suspect even the abbot knows that, but you may need more evidence to convince the Archdeacon. Oh, there is one other item of interest. I found it in the Baron's jacket, but didn't want to open it without you. What have we got? Is it a letter? A note of some kind. I trust you to open it more carefully than I would. What does it say? No fucking idea. Das Mädchen, das Traub und die Kleutschel dich mit ihr maturin? I'm butchering whatever this is. The girl who died, and the innocent with her. Martin's chapter. Girl? What girl? And what incident? And what innocent? One of the nuns, someone from the village, your guess was mine. One of the nuns? He did have that thing with the nuns. It's been years since any of the nuns have died. Perhaps Mother Cecilia would remember. Can you tell who wrote it? It's definitely someone with a great deal of experience as a scribe, but it can't be Adoc or Guy. They're not in Italian, I can tell you that. Italian scribes use humanist script. This is a highly refined Gothic hand. That's more interesting. As good as Adoc and Guy are, I don't think they could replicate this. What? Really? If not them, who? I intend to find out. I wish you luck finding the answer. Now, I'm sorry to rush you, but I must ask you to leave. Every minute you stay here is an additional Were you expecting someone? Brother Florian, could you open up? It's Werner Stolz, the physician from Tesseng. Oh, yes, I'm in the middle of something. Can you return after supper? I'm afraid it can't wait. Father Gano asked me to examine the Baron's body. Alright, just give me a moment. Andreas, you need to fuck off. Andreas, I need you to hide yourself. Of course. Because it makes perfect sense. Oh yeah, really hidden. He's coming to examine the body and you hide there. Ah, Dr. Stoltz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what did you need? The abbot wanted me to examine the Baron's body before his wife arrives. Seems unnecessary at this point, as I've just completed my own examination. Well, what's the harm in letting me take a look? Dr. Stoltz, with all respect, I've finished. The cause of death is clear. If you had arrived an hour ago, I would have had no problem with your assistance. Assistance? I'm a university-trained physician. I can examine a corpse on my own without the help of a battlefield sawbones. Remain hidden. I don't see the point in confronting him because it just gives away my position being here and I shouldn't be here. Regardless of your opinions regarding my abilities, the examination is finished. If you insist on inspecting the body anyway, I must insist that the abbot tells me himself. What? Making me bring the abbot here is a waste of time. So is performing an examination on this corpse immediately after one was just completed. Idiotic. I will return with Father Gano presently. I need to leave. That was close. Now quickly leave through the cloister before they return. Of course. Thank you, Brother Florian. Think nothing of it. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then... I wanted an until later, but we didn't get one. Vespers. It's time to eat. I should find someone to eat with. Can't get that note out of my head. The girl who died, and the innocent with her. Well, the innocent with her must be a child. What could it mean, and who wrote it? Is Lucky our next step? I am thinking Lucky, because we know that Lucky had there was an incident. And there was a beating at some point in the past. Mother Cecilia while we're here? But I don't want to lose time. Is she the prioress? There's nobody here anyway. Would they be eating? Pet mouse fanger. I'm guessing that means mouse finder. Hello, boy. Good kitty. Doesn't move much. Right, I've tried all this stuff. Hildegard of Bingen, Mother Cecilia's favourite. Speak to Mother Cecilia tomorrow then, I guess. Unless she's in the shrine. Oh, they're all in the shrine. Lisbeth, Gertrude, Marguerite, Sophie, Matilda. God bless you, Master Mailer. God bless you. Tell me where Cecilia is or I'll kill you all. Master Mailer? Yes, it's me, sister. Do you think Brother Piero really murdered the Baron? No, of course not. Oh. Then why did the Father Abbot have him put in the cellar? I don't know the answer to that, Sister Marguerite. I'm sorry. Father Abbot is afraid what will happen if we can't figure out who the killer really is. Yes. Do you think the devil could appear here in Cassau? If the devil could appear to Christ at Gethsemane? He could appear anywhere. Yes, I suppose. Why? No, I don't. I think people see the devil where they want to see him. We could go the Christian route. They like Christianity stuff, right? They're nuns. I don't see the devil, but I think I smelled his odour. Last night, I woke before matins, and I smelled something in our dormitory. It was strange. Moss and sulphur, mixed with frankincense and roses. It moved through the room. I wanted to scream, but I was too frightened. And then it was gone. I'm ashamed that I didn't cry out, but I didn't know what to do. I don't know what I would have done any better, sister. Did any of the other sisters smell it? Well, that's a more interesting question. I don't know, but I think they were all asleep. Thank you, Sister Marguerite. God bless you, Master Mailer. God bless you, Master Mailer. God bless you, Master Mailer. You're boring me now, women. Where's the sister? Not the sister. What's she called? Cecilia. Oh, Cecilia. Lady Salome. Is that the wife? Salome. Salome. Ah, Master Mailer. You get to share supper at my table. I would like to talk to you about my late husband. Wow, she's taking this really well. Of course. Please lead the way. Why not? Thank you. Please sit. Bless us, O Lord, for these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. I find myself rather out of place here without the comfort of the Baron. Thank you for agreeing to share a meal with me, Master Mailer. Of course, the honour is mine. You're welcome to any comfort you may find in me at this difficult time. That's a bit too far. It is a terrible thing what happened to the Baron. I must admit I was surprised you wished to speak to me. Lorenz did not make friends easily. He was a strong-headed man with staunch beliefs. He didn't shrink to share. We're going to have some quail. We've got Emmental cheese and wheat bread. Is that it? We can't have the wine. Let's have the quail. When I was told he'd found some manner of friendship with an artist, well, I was curious. It comforts me to know he found fellowship here in this most unusual abbey. Not that there is much comfort to be found in these cold and dreary alpine towns. Lorenz and I had meant to take a tour of them before returning home to Worms, but, well, return we shall. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. I think that's the right thing, but not as you don't. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. This sorrow is just the first of many, I'm afraid. Are you married yourself, Master Mailer? Not yet. There's so much of the world I've yet to see, if you take my meaning. A woman waits for me in Nuremberg. When I finish my work here, we will be wed. No. And truth be told, I'm not looking forward to the prospect. We'll be honest. Do you not look forward to the responsibilities of marriage, Master Mailer? Perhaps it's no surprise you and Lorenz became fast friends. I imagine he saw something of himself in you. Oh my. He even gave you one of his pins. He must have been quite fond of you. We shared a passion for the finer things. Rarely have I met someone with such a depth of knowledge and thirst for debate. I hope I should meet a more peaceful end. No, that's wild. That's no. No. We shared a passion for the finer things. I think that's probably the more diplomatic answer. And it's still true. We'll go with she's in mourning. We'll try and not be hedonistic. His thirsts were not limited to his scholarly pursuits, regrettably. He lusts for drink and women once afflicted him with great remorse, though such shame faded with time. Lorenz was a flawed man. His various infidelities were no secret to me, but are we not all flawed before Christ? Quail, again, finish it. I loved him as a wife should properly love her husband, but I would not say that we were friends. A horrible marriage. Such a sad thing. I only hope his appetites were not what led him to his end. I have been searching for the answer to that quandary myself. Were you and Lorenz so close that you would trouble yourself so? Interesting. My motivation is personal. My mentor, Brother Piero, was found with the Baron's body, but I do not believe he killed your husband. Yeah. If not him, then who? There are many possibilities, both here at the Abbey and in town. I don't wish to speak out of turn. I see. Well, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that my husband made his share of enemies. He was a man of many opinions, and he gave them freely, to all who would listen, and some who would not. The previous abbot, Father Matthias, seemed to appreciate that about him. This new abbot is perhaps more conservative. Father Matthias was an open-minded man, from all I've heard, a true scholar. Father Gonneau does not share Matthias's passion for the written word, yet endures the expense of it. To be put in such a position would make any man unhappy, I understand. I wonder what he will make of Lorenz's gift to the Abbey. This was the book, right? So we'll let her continue. He had found a book about the history of Tassing. He believed it contained some scandalous details. He said it corroborated fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. Do you have any sense of what these scandals involved? Did you know Father Matthias yourself? Well, he didn't share the particulars. Father Matthias. I never met him, but my husband held him in high esteem. Lorenz said he was a man of great virtue and high learning. I'm sorry, I can't be more help. I have some education, but I lack my husband's thirst for knowledge. If you find the book, hopefully its significance will be apparent. If God wills it. Do you plan to stay in Tassing long? Will you be returning home to Worms soon? We plan to stay long. It's the same question, it's just phrased better. Only so long as it takes the Archdeacon to investigate my husband's murder. Though the circumstances of my time here are dire, I'm in no hurry to return. Why is that, if I may ask? I shouldn't, I see a glimmer now of what Lorenz saw in you. You are a disarming man, Master Mela, and too easy to talk to. Oh God, oh no, what am I doing? I'm flirting with a widow when her husband's not been dead for 24 hours. Wink. You're not the first to tell me so. That does not surprise me. Oh my God, are we romancing the widow? To be frank, I do not know what will become of me when I return to Worms. My title and residence may be in jeopardy. Lorenz and I have a son. He's young yet. I don't know many of the legalities, only that my position is at risk. You're in a difficult position, my lady. I will pray for your happiness. I suspect you'll survive just fine. No, we'll pray for her happiness. As will I, Master Mela. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I fear I must rest. Of course, thank you for having me at your table. Of course, you've had a long day. Thank you for having me at your table. Be well, Master Mela. And whatever anyone says of my husband, I'm certain he appreciated your friendship. She's nice. I like her. Go.